So something that is kind of hard for a lot of missionaries is when they teach people who know that it's true or have so much potential to accept the gospel and be so happy, and then those people don't accept it. And so that's really hard for a lot of missionaries. That was the hardest thing for me on my mission, was when people wouldn't accept it, because I knew how happy it could make them, and I knew it was true. And many times I knew that they knew it was true, and they told me that they knew it was true. But it was just, for some reason, everybody has their own reason, it just wasn't the right time for them, and they just weren't ready or willing to accept it yet. But this story is about, there was an elder who probably had that situation a couple of times, as most missionaries do, and then we found some of his investigators 7 years later. So first, there was a man who we ran into on the street, and we told him about our message, and he said that he had a Book of Mormon at home and he didn't know where it was. So we told him to find it, to search diligently, and then to search diligently for an answer from God if it was true. And we led him through the steps on how to do that. And then we got to his home. We marked a date to return. We got to his home, and he said that he hadn't found the Book of Mormon. And I was so discouraged. I was like, oh no, he didn't even look. And then he's like, but I did pray to know if it was true. And I prayed so hard, and God put absolute certainty in my heart that the Book of Mormon is true. And so we taught him the lessons, and he accepted the gospel with his whole heart. And he had been taught 7 years earlier by an Elder Brown. And then in that same area, my companion and I were tracking in a park, and we were getting rejected by every single person, and not just rejected, but like hardcore rejected that day. So we're just like, that's okay, we're going to keep going. And we're getting close to the time that we needed to leave, but we decided to just ask one more person. So we asked one more person, and they were the last person on this very long bench of people who we were talking to, and they just totally rejected us. But while we were talking to them, then somebody else sat down. So we went over and we talked to them, and it was a man, and he totally rejected us too. But while we were talking to him, then another guy had sat down who was actually his brother. So we talked to him, and his name was Carlos. And he accepted the message, and also embraced the gospel with his whole heart. And we gave him our number, and that first day that we tracked it into him, and he puts it into his phone, and it says Elder at the top. And he was taught 7 years earlier by the same Elder Brown. And so I was just so grateful for that elder, for everything that he had done, and that he didn't give up. Like with this first man that we found, he had smoked. He was very addicted to cigarettes. And he said, this elder and his companion, they suffered with me to help me give up that addiction. And he just felt so much love from those missionaries. And so I was so grateful for them, and that we were able to kind of help with those seeds that they had planted so many years earlier. And then we were able to kind of, I guess we got the benefit for all the work that they did. So I was very grateful for the Spirit, and for that witness that Heavenly Father prepares people in His time.